Before we get started with the video today, guys, I want to let you viewers out there know that only a small fraction of you guys currently watching are actually subscribed to my channel, so make sure to smash that subscribe button for instant updates about videos that I release and other announcements, and also smash that like button to help my channel out. Enjoy the video. Yo, what is up, guys? It is Samool here, back with another Epic 7 YouTube video for you guys today. And today I'm going to be talking about a different topic that I've never really touched upon, and it's going to be about what I think is really toxic or not fun to play against, or is poorly designed in this game. Now in this video I'm going to be covering the top 5 poorly designed artifacts in my opinion, and before I get started, keep in mind that this is always going to be just my opinion. Obviously it's not a right answer, there's no right and wrong with what I'm saying. You guys may think differently, and if you guys do, let me know down in the comment section below what other artifacts that I didn't mention that you guys think are very toxic to the game, or just very unfair to play against, or are unfair in general. Now, before I get started with the video, guys, today, a lot of you guys are asking why I have so many flags and why I'm capped on energy a lot of the time when I say not to. So the thing is, in Arena, once you hit Champion, you're going to mostly be camping in Champion. The only times you really care about using your flag is when you, 1, either need Conquest points, or 2, are pushing for Legend to get the one-time rewards. And I'm waiting for next week or the week after, whenever I'm done with exams, to spend all my flags. It's going to take a while, right? Because Arena games take a while to push to Legend 1 and get my one-time Sky Stones. And my energy is just because I logged in for the first time today, and I just wanted to get a video out for you guys because I know I've been lacking on the video releases lately because I've been busy. Now, without further ado, guys, let's get started and look into the artifacts that I think are the most toxic. And keep in mind that this is not rated from 1 to 5 or ranked at all. It's just the 5 artifacts in general that are all equally toxic in my opinion. Now, the first artifact I'm going to be talking about is going to be Tagehel's Ancient Book. Now, you guys might not be surprised, but some of you guys may be surprised because you guys might think, you know, souls are OP, but you know, you don't think that they're toxic. Well, I would agree with you, besides the fact that there is a soul burn effect in the game, which I think is really, really imbalanced, and that is going to be Ignore Effect Resist. Now, the reason why I think this is imbalanced is because of the innate 15% built into the game. I think if 15% Effect Resist didn't exist, I wouldn't really care about Tagehel's, right? And ignoring Effect Resist, because there's no RNG anyways, right? You can always outgear or gear your units so that they don't have to deal with RNG. But the fact that there's 15% innate RNG, and the fact that there's a soul burn that can ignore all of that RNG and you just need a Tagehel's Book, makes this artifact pretty toxic in my opinion. And I think Smilegate actually thinks that way as well, although you guys may not, because of Bellion's release kind of countering Tagehel's. And I think the biggest abuser of this book would be like Bazaar, right? Because he has the Ignore Effect Resist on his S3, which is 20 souls, which you conveniently get from Tagehel's Ancient Book from 1 copy, which you just throw on him, and then you just have to make Bazaar as fast as possible, and then instantly he's the best cleave opener in the game because he has an unresistible strip and knockback and unbuffable. So yeah, I think this artifact is toxic in the current state of Epic 7. I'm not saying by design itself it is toxic, but I think when you tie this in with, you know, that soul burn effect in the game, right, and even like some other units, right, with like extra turns, like extra turns is also pretty toxic in some situations. It's just pretty broken, right? Like a lot of times in Cleave, you're just running extra Ancient Books because souls are very powerful, especially in like offense settings. So I think Tagehel's, I wouldn't really say that they need to remove this from the game. I think that's a very bad idea in general, but I do think this artifact is going to be strong for so long, for a very long time, unless like more units like Bellion come out to purposely like counter Tagehel's, right? Because yeah, Ignore Effect Resist is just a really dumb soul burn mechanic in the game. I think they should probably remove it, you know? Like, I would have been happier if Bazaar had, like, extra turn as S3 and you can S2 right after for more debuffs, right? But just, like, the 15% innate effect resist just, yeah, I just don't really like it that much, and I don't think a lot of people do either. So yeah, that's why Tagehel's is going to be one of the 5 quote-unquote toxic artifacts in my opinion. Now, another toxic artifact in my opinion, and this is going to be the second 4-star artifact, and the last one in my list is going to be Moonlight Dreamblade, or MLDB. Now, you guys have probably faced a million units like this that hold this artifact actually, and you just can't seem to land on them. And I know that there's counters in like Oath Key and Symbol of Unity, but the reason why I think this is super annoying is because this is a 4-star artifact, so you can have, especially in like RTA, right, where you need like a large pool of units, you can have like 5 or 6 units with max copies of this, and it gives you 20% evasion, right? And the thing is, like, there are other 5-star artifacts in the game that also give 20% evasion, but Moonlight Dreamblade is better than most of them, right? So that's why I think this artifact's pretty toxic. I think evasion in general is pretty toxic, just because it's like another layer of RNG. And while I'm not saying that RNG is necessarily bad to the game, I do think you need some degree of RNG in games to make it fair. Otherwise, you know, players that have been playing longer will always win 100% of the time. But I think Moonlight Dreamblade either needs the evasion taken down a bit, or, in my opinion, which is going to be a better option, is to buff the other 5-star evasion artifacts a bit. Not buff their evasion chance, but buff the other effects it gives, right? Because Moonlight Dreamblade gives attack buff, which is 50% attack. And like the other one, like there's another one like Shepherd of Hala, right? We just get like stacking, like, I don't even know how much attack it is, but it's like very little. And just taking Moonlight Dreamblade is just way more consistent. I think for 4-star artifact, this is like very, very strong. You could even make this 5-star. If this was 5-star artifact, no one will be like, yeah, Moonlight Dreamblade sucks, right? They'll still run this a lot, right? Because it's super OP. Yeah, I think this artifact is very annoying to fight for how easy it is to get. And the fact that you can put it on basically any like bruiser thief in the game and make them really good is just, it's pretty toxic in my opinion. Yeah, Moonlight Dreamblade, very good artifact. If you get copies of it, don't dust it ever. You can always throw it onto thieves if you bring them if you build them tanky. Very strong artifact, and in my opinion, a little bit toxic. Next, we have Abyssal Crown. Now, yeah, you guys have probably faced this artifact a lot. If you guys have been playing for a while, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about perma-stun Dizzy, right? Dizzy will basically have a 50% chance on an AoE attack to stun people. But yeah, this artifact, wow, I actually hate this artifact and its design because I just think that giving AoE S1s super high chances to stun is just really bad for the game. They should have just made this, you know, a higher chance for single target, or even like lower the chance a little, because Abyssal Crown is just super RNG, and you know, when you're fighting defenses that have like random AoE S1 units, and they just stun you, it's just very annoying. Even an RTA, like one stun can make or break games super easily. So I think Abyssal is a bit toxic to the game. Now, I'm not saying that they should nerf this or remove it. I just think it is very annoying to fight, right, guys? Like, you guys can't say that this is not annoying to play against. Just like the fact that it's a 24% chance to stun people, and if you put it on an AoE S1 like Dizzy or Solitaria or other units, just from the artifact alone, you're basically getting almost 100% chance per turn to just stun a random unit. So, very, very annoying to fight. Like, I would have rather had this be like a 50%, even like a higher percent, like 70% chance to stun an enemy, right? And you can just click, you know how you could click one target with AoE attacks and it'll hit everyone? Like, I'd rather have it so you like click a unit and then you have a higher chance to stun that unit, right? Or something like that. Because their turns, especially when you fight this on defense, like your whole team's getting stunned. Like, I faced politicians that run Abyssal Crown and just stuns my entire team. I'm just like, okay. You just instantly lose, right? So I think this unit's pretty toxic by design. Anything with random stuns is just really annoying, especially in AoE form. I don't think they should remove this from the game or nerf it by any means. I just think it's very annoying to play against, and I think you guys probably agree as well. And next on the list, it is another 5-star artifact for Knights, and you're going to see that it is Elbris. Now, Elbris, looking at it, you know, it doesn't seem too annoying. But the thing is, when you guys fight this on defense, and if you guys played during the Charles era, where Charles was on every single defense team everywhere, you'll know when I say that this is a 100% chance on defense. Like, this procs more than 20% when it's on a defense team, for sure, right? Every time I fight, like, Bellions that run Elbris, I feel like they counter every single attack or something. It's really annoying. And you pair it with counter sets, you can't even focus down that unit. And it's usually going to be on very tanky units because it's for Knights, right? So Elbris is a very toxic artifact, I say. You'll notice that a lot of the toxic artifacts are basically RNG ones, or ones that bypass RNG. But yeah, I do think that some artifacts on defense actually have a higher percent chance. Not really, but it definitely feels that way. So that's why Elbris is going to be another one of these artifacts that I'm going to have to put on my top few toxic artifact list. Especially because in the past, like, these artifacts were used on very, very strong defense units, like Elbris on Charles, even on Bellion now, Abyssal Crown on Dizzy defenses, and even Politis, right? And Tagehel is not really defense, but it's very, very powerful in Arena and RTA. And Moonlight Dreamblade, you know, RB, Tsurian, right? Just really, really annoying to deal with. So, yeah. That's why I do think Elbris is also a very toxic artifact, and I think it's a fine artifact, but it's just really annoying to play against sometimes. And last but not least, we have Alexa's Basket. Now, this is the only artifact in this list that I think is toxic, and I actually really think this needs to be reworked or removed or something, because this artifact is toxic and just like super OP. Now, let me explain why. So Alexa's, when it's when it's fully maxed, has a 40% chance to give you greater attack buff. Now the crit chance is a nice bonus, but once you're hitting late game, mid game, you're gonna be gearing your units to have max crit chance anyways, especially DPS units. So you're not gonna really care about the crit chance proccing. You're mostly looking for that greater attack buff. And 40% is very high. Now, if this was like 20%, 30%, I'd say it's way more balanced. But 40% is kind of pushing it, because greater attack is so broken in this game, because I think it's 90% attack, right? Maybe it's 70. But it's super high attack boost. And for thieves, right, they're already sporting super high attack builds, already have high crit damage to make it do more damage, and have high base attack. And yeah, if this procs, you know, you can expect one of your units or your entire team getting wiped, right? Like T-Cern with the Soulburn, Alexa's Basket proc S3 will do 10k damage to squishy units, even more if it's built better. RB, you guys have probably seen, which is the biggest abuser of this artifact, because RB, when you die, you get 100% yard push, you revive, and you have a chance to proc it. And if you do proc it, on defense teams even without the Soulburn, it does so much damage. And then in RTA, when you can actually Soulburn, it does crazy amount of damage. It can make a won fight turn into a lost fight, if that makes sense, right? And yeah, a lot of units use this. A lot of thieves, like I don't know of too many thieves in the game that you run Alexas on, and you're like, wow, Alexas is a bad artifact, right? Like so many units you can use this artifact really, really well, even though it may not be their best artifact, right? Like let me think, for example, right? Kayron really good with it, RB really good with it, Villaged really good with it, T-Cern really good with it, Kisei really good with it, Acid really good with it, Closer Charles really good with it, right? It's just because the artifact is just broken by design, and it's just super OP, which just makes it super toxic, right? Like when an artifact is this broken, it's just, yeah, what do you do, right? I think this is actually the most broken artifact in the game, by a pretty large margin. Now, obviously, some artifacts in certain situations will be better than Alexa's Basket, but Alexa's Basket is so consistent. Even though it's an RNG artifact, at max limit break, you get it to 40%. That's like almost 50%, right? That's almost like half the time. And like it's easy to get max Alexa's Basket, because every late game player, when they see Alexa's Basket in the powdered knowledge shop, will spend all their powder on it, because this artifact's just that broken. So yeah, Alexa's Basket I do think is one of the most toxic artifacts in the game, probably the most, and definitely the most OP. And if you guys disagree with me, let me know down in the comments why you don't think so, but I personally think it is. The stats it gives is crazy as well, because it's a 5-star. So yeah, this artifact is just nuts, and I think Smilegate should do something about it. Maybe not remove it or nerf it, but they need to do something about this, because Alexis is a very, very toxic artifact by design, and always has been since, you know, its release. So that's pretty much it for my top 5, you know, not in any particular order, besides maybe Alexa's Basket being number 1, toxic artifact list. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace!